Let's see. Oh, this toy used to work so well. It's a boxing character. That's Rocksteady, but he reminds me more of Mike Tyson, in case you can't tell. So welcome to Stunt Double News. I am Maestro Drake, your host, and this is November the 4th, 2018. We're going to go over a few things. Keisha Tucker for Black Panther, Chris Hemsworth in a new movie, not a Marvel movie. We're also going to cover, let me see, a UK reality show, and I don't know who this stunt double is, but we're going to find out soon. Deven McNair fighting sexism for female stunt doubles, and China Salesman with Mike Tyson in a Steven Seagal fight. And plus, we'll be covering the stunt crew for the week for Bohemian Rhapsody and Boy Erased and Nobody's Fault. So first, let's take care of this one. Keisha Tucker. Now, Keisha Tucker, if you don't know who that is, she is the stunt double for Danai Gurira. Gurira, G-U-R-I-R-A, Okoye, O-K-O-Y-E. So Keisha Tucker was one of the, basically she was the protector for the Black Panther in Wakanda. She was the honor, what is it? The Dora Milaje Honor Guard. So, let me see here. On Thursday, November the 1st, she went to the University of Massachusetts. She returned to her campus to talk about her life story and to promote a message of, you know, you can do anything that's possible, you know, for women, minorities, even young men who have a hard time, you know, with families and such. You can do anything you want. So let me go a little bit about her story. When Keisha Tucker, I think it's Keisha, Keisha Tucker was 4 years old, she was doing beauty pageants, softball, gymnastics, a little bit of everything. In theater, let me see. Yeah, on the University of Massachusetts, she was the theater major for a dance class. She also worked in Agawam, New England. That was one of her first roles, was doing stunt performances for Six Flags. So if you know the DC superheroes, they would be in the Six Flags, like Batman stunt show or Superman stunt show, kind of like the Marvel one I talked about last week. That's the kind of stuff she was doing for Six Flags. Then she moved on to doing, from there, MTV Video Music Awards, How to Get Away with Murder, All American. Now, this is a professional life at this point. So, and then she did Black Panther and Avengers. So she's come a long way. Her movie, like she likes Black Panther because it's a movie dealing with race and culture and being when to be politically correct. Her phrase that she gives to future students or graduating students is, just because, her exact words, this is her quote, just because you're doing a stunt, it does not mean that you're not acting. Sometimes when you're doing your stunts, you're your own character. So it's a great point to make. You know, don't think of, when you do stunts, okay, yes, stunts are going to be dangerous, okay? Whether you're white, black, male, female, Asian, Klingon, whatever, the ET alien, whatever you are, whoever you are, it's always a tough thing because you're always going to be overshadowed by the talent, okay? So if you're Keisha Tucker doubling for Danai Gurira, or if you're Bobby Holland Hanton doubling for Chris Evans or Chris Hemsworth, which we'll talk about later, it's always a difficult thing because you're going to always be upstage. Not everybody can be Jackie Chan or Jet Li or Kelly Hu or some, you know, people who do more, or Chuck Norris. Okay, not everyone can be Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is a legend, right? He does a lot of his own stunts. So, you know, it's a very important thing. When you go back to the place you used to go to, you're coming back as a very different person. I don't remember her age. I'm assuming Keisha is in her 30s. So I'm assuming you graduate college in your early 20s, like I did, and then you come back maybe at most 10 years later, you find out where everybody has been, like almost like a high school reunion. But you find out where you've gone, where you come down the path, you know, how far up the path or down the path you've come. So that's all I can say about it, and we'll move on to the next one. And here we have some nice, lovely backdrops of India. I don't have many pictures of it. But why am I saying this? Because before Keisha Tucker did her speech in the University of Massachusetts, speaking of Marvel, we have Chris Hemsworth going to Ahmedabad Airport in India. He was spotted on Wednesday, on Halloween Day, and he's going to star in Dhaka, which is a Netflix series. Now, this is not a comic book movie or anything Marvel. It's sort of an action, like a thriller, but it's you know, kind of like The Bourne Identity or some of the movies Liam Neeson's done. So Chris Hemsworth is playing that kind of character, some sort of thriller, mystery, epic, suspense. And the reason I'm talking about Chris Hemsworth is because Chris Evans, who plays Captain America, Chris Hemsworth plays Thor, but Chris Evans, his stunt double was the director, Sam Hargrave, who's now a director. He was the stunt double. And for Chris Evans in Captain America Winter Soldier, and then he became a stunt coordinator for Captain America Civil War. He started out, like most stunt people, doing, you know, doing performances in circus-related things or, you know, live action shows or gymnastics or something like that. His first roles were in Supernatural, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, Dexter, X-Men Origins Wolverine, the Green Lantern movie, The Avengers, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series, and Deadpool 2, which I saw. I'm not sure who he doubled for in Deadpool 2, but I love that movie. It was great. It was fun. I mean, I like Disney, but I'm not completely Disney all the time. And we got the Republic of India. I showed this one for Geeta Tandon. Great. It's a great video. If you get a chance, look below, Geetatandon. It's a great feminism and the strength of women in that video. It's a great story. And anyway, so Sam Hargrave, who was a stunt double and became a stunt coordinator, and then he became a second unit director for Infinity War, is now directing as the head director for Dhaka, Dhaka. So my thoughts on that, I like thrillers. I like the Bourne trilogy, you know, the Bourne Identity, the Bourne Supremacy, the Bourne Ultimatum. Chris Hemsworth can be a badass if he wants to be, right? He can do anything. I mean, I've seen him in Star Trek, but, you know, I think hopefully this is going to be the first real movie that he does that is not necessarily, let me get that in focus. This is a nice picture. This is makeshift dwelling set up by the homeless in Calcutta. So, I mean, you're going to see Chris Hemsworth in these kinds of settings. So we'll see. I mean, like Jason, if Matt Damon can do it, there's no reason why Chris Hemsworth can do it. This is a sort of a classroom, outside classroom in India. So hopefully Chris Hemsworth runs into these kinds of places, you know. And that's the oxen. That's the sacred cow of India. Can't see it very well. There it is. But anyway, next one. And Han Solo, which you can barely see here, he's small. He's no match against all these ladies here. We got Alice, and we got Miss Talho, and Wonder Woman, and Evelyn, and the She-Hulk. And they seem pretty mad at Han Solo right now. So what is he to do? Hide somewhere. Okay, hide. Okay, so while Han Solo is running, his legs are sticking out. And we got all these women here. What is this about? So we're talking about Deven McNair. Now, it's Devenmcnair. Deven McNair did an interview recently, or there was an article recently about, I'm not sure what's going on exactly. Now, earlier in the year, She was reported as suing SAG-AFTRA, and I think it's MGM. I might be incorrect about that. I know it's SAG-AFTRA. Deven is suing, as well as MGM. Now, what the lawsuit is detailing a little bit about, she's talked about this in an article. She's fighting sexism for female stunt doubles. She has been a stunt coordinator mostly for movies like Meet the Spartans, Jonah Hex, Green Lantern, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, and many others. So Deven McNair has been known to be a stunt driver, utility stunts, all kinds of things like that. What she talked about in the article was that there was a stunt for a movie that she wanted to drive. It started out, when she started out in the business of being a stunt woman, she had problems getting the parts. For stunt people, it's like getting the. Remember, when you're performing a stunt in a movie, you're there for a few seconds, and you're not there for too long. So, it's difficult, depending on how much experience you have, the relationship you have with the stunt coordinator. What is your area of expertise? Going to stunt school, doing jujitsu, or doing running, doing squats, doing hard exercises, taking impact. Just how your health, your physical health. Me as a hemophiliac, when I do infusions, I have blood disorder, so I could never be a stunt person. So that's just my reasoning. But for Deven McNair, she has felt ever since she started out in the business of being a stunt woman that it's been her gender. Because she's seen men double for female actresses. If like you have a grandma, you have a guy with the grandma wig on instead of a woman. So, or in other cases, you have men doubling for lead women parts. And one time she wanted to do a car stunt, and this car stunt required a lot of dangerous twists and turns and dodging bullets, or actually would require squibs, which are these electric, almost like a taser gun. You shoot these squibs and they shoot electric sparks. Like when a bullet hits a car, it makes this spark, the spark sound. So that's essentially what happens. So Deven wanted to do this, and the director, I think, and the stunt coordinator said no, that they heard she was a terrible driver, that she wasn't capable of handling the stunt, that she would get seriously injured or even worse. Other times that she's told this story to, or she's walked off the set since then. She complained, she spoke up, and that's why she's not really working as a stunt person, but a stunt coordinator now. So she's talked about this with other stunt people. Other stunt women think that she's trying to get attention. Stunt men think that she's making things up, that she wasn't there. Let me put a different narrative here, okay? I'm going to take these women off. This is a very delicate subject, okay? But let me take these women off the board for a moment, if I might. And I want to put a more positive thing. Let me put something else up here. Here we have. Can we get Jen Urso to stand? Barely. And I'm going to get this general here of no particular ethnicity. And I want to say some thoughts about that. I'm not 100% sure she is telling the truth. Because what happened to Joy Harris, getting someone of color to represent an actress of color and gender, at the time it seemed like a good idea. And then Joy Harris died doing a very dangerous stunt on a motorcycle that she was not trained for. She was trained to do motorcycle stunts, but she was not trained to do movie motorcycle stunts, which requires a bit more. Am I saying that Deven's lying? No. Am I saying she's telling the truth? I don't know. I never put all my poker chips in when someone is accusing someone of something. when it concerns sexism, because you have to remember, I'm a male, okay? So it's easy for a woman to say, oh yes, he's lying. But if you're the male, there has to be some compromise and say, wait a minute, not so fast. So do I believe her when she says there are people in the industry who are being sexist towards women stunt doubles, for female stunt doubles? Yes. I believe there are people who absolutely try to protect women. It's in men's nature to be like that. It's not always bad, but at the same time, if a woman has the experience, if she has the skill, and she has the training, and she hasn't had a bad record, I don't know if she is a bad driver in movie stunts in movies. I don't know. She may be, or she may have been a bad driver at one time, and she may have learned from her mistakes, and she's a better person for it. But we have to always, as a stunt coordinator, and you have directors and second unit directors and stunt coordinators, you have to be politically correct and fair to everyone for as long as you possibly can. But as I said in another video, it is safety first. Safety first to the stunt performers, safety first to the actors, safety first to the directors, producers, everyone on the set at that time when the stunt is being done. It is safety first. You know, there could be a live wire coming out of cables. There could be a fire that goes out. You know, it combusts when you try to do one stunt, something else happens. That does happen, you know, and we don't want to see another John Bernecker, Joy Harris, or any kind of death that was unexpected. Okay, John Bernecker died. He might not have been the right man to have done the stunt. Put it this way: you should only use a male stunt double for a woman if every option is exhausted and you're running out of time and you need to do something. That's the only time you should be politically incorrect. Okay? If it is a matter of safety and you don't have a choice, then you do that. But I say to you, Deven, I hope you're telling the truth, and I wish you the best of luck. And I'm going to keep an open mind and be fair and democratic as possible. And that's all I can say about that. So we'll leave that topic alone for now. Now this one's a mystery, not like unlike the chance in Monopoly kind of mystery. Like what do you get? What's underneath the cards, right? So there was a stunt double, and this stunt double was a finalist on Australian Ninja Warrior. The television show is a soap opera called The Neighbours, Neighbours. So it's like saying armor with the U, Neighbours. So it's called Neighbours, and it's a soap opera that started in 1985 and is still ongoing. So there's a character who's a complete a-hole, and his name is Finn Kelly, who is played by Rob Mills. And Rob Mills, so he's playing Finn. So Finn Kelly's a real bastard. He's the a-hole of the neighborhood, and nobody likes him, and he's turning on everybody, family members, friends, and people in the neighborhood, and they're all conspiring to go after him because maybe he went too far with secrets. You know how these soap operas are. But anyway, he goes off to the ledge, and then his stunt double, who is also playing Finn Kelly, falls off the edge and falls about maybe 15 to 20 feet down. It's not too high, but it's high enough where you could break something if you fall wrong. So he falls down, and this guy was a finalist. The stunt double was a finalist on the Australian Ninja Warrior, because there's only been like one season of it. I don't know which one it could be. It could be any one of them. Let me see if I have the names. Okay, I wrote these in Chicken Scratch, but I'll translate it for you from Chicken Scratch to English. Bryson Klein, Klein, Stewart, Stewart, Furze, Furze, Rob Patterson, and Sam Goodall. These were people that were finalists or semifinals in the Australian Ninja Warrior. So I don't know if any one of these people were the stunt double. It's Australia, so you almost can't get any information on foreign stunt doubles. It's if you get lucky. That's hard, and that's a challenge. But if anybody knows who the stunt double was who fell off the cliff for Australian Ninja for the Australian Ninja Warrior finalist, who was the Finn Kelly stunt double in The Neighbors in the latest storyline, please, send a message my way. And here we have the stunt crew for this week. This is Bohemian Rhapsody. We have the stunt coordinator, James O'Donnell, Nathan Aldous, Alexander Brack, Linda Louise Dean. This is his, Aidan Gillen is the stunt person. And Chris Newton, James O'Donnell, who's the stunt coordinator, Justin Pearson, Aaron Tofam. And here we have Boy Erased. Nash Edgerton as the stunt coordinator. And we got the stunt people, David Alessi, Paul Burke, Dave Morrow, Brett Smurs, Jennifer Badger, Shauna Galligan, Jimmy N. Roberts, Kevin Waterman, Chris Bernhard. Shauna Galligan is the stunt double for Nicole Kidman, Paul E. Short, Ricardo Perez. And finally, we have Nobody's Fool, Jan Drawn, Carl Anthony Nespoli. Jan Drawn is the stunt coordinator and Carl is the assistant stunt coordinator. Boy Erased, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Nobody's Fool is in theaters now, or select theaters. So check those theaters. And finally, I have some funnier news. Now, there was a movie. Now, we all know Mike Tyson, right? And we know Mr. Steven Seagal. Let's just pretend these two guys are Mike Tyson and Steven Seagal. Of course, you should know who they really are. They're not Disney characters, by the way. So Mike Tyson and Steven Seagal starred in a movie called China Salesman. It's something about capitalizing on a cell phone company in Africa. Something about capitalizing warring cell phone companies in Africa. Some sort of weird plot, okay? So there's a scene in a bar, okay? It looks like a Western saloon, Mexican, sort of a low rent kind of bar. And so you got Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal is like sort of the owner of the bar, okay? Actually, this is Steven Seagal, okay? So Mike Tyson's coming in, right? And Mike Tyson's coming in, he's gonna have a drink. Somebody gives him a drink and it smells like piss, right? So he says, I do not drink urine. So Steven Seagal gets up and, Steven Seagal, he looks like he hasn't been fighting in 20 or 30 years. I mean, the man was really active back in the late 70s, early 80s, and late 80s, and maybe the early 90s. But after the early 90s, no, he just wasn't that great anymore. So you got Steven Seagal, you got Mike Tyson, and they're doing a fight, okay? And the fight is so bad. So let me show you. I mean, you can look it up. I'll show you. I'll tell you what links we're going to have before we end this video. So we got, Steven Seagal here, and you can kind of see Mike over here. So they're fighting like this, okay? And then the next scene, you got Iron Mike, and you got part of Steven Seagal, and they're fighting like this. And you can't exactly see one face or the other. You're always seeing this obscure point of view. It doesn't look right. So what exactly has happened is that they got two stunt doubles, one for Mike, one for Steven, one for Mike, and they're doing the fighting. But Mike Tyson's doing most of the boxing. So the stunt double for Mike Tyson is almost non-existent. But the stunt double for Steven Seagal is doing, all kinds of kicks and punches and kicks to the stomach. But when you see the kicks, it's like this. You can't even see the darn face to it. So let me go over the two stunt people really quick. Kevin Lee is the stunt double for Steven Seagal. And Leandro Mayer Martinez might be the stunt double for Mike Tyson, but it says stunt performer. So Leandro Mayer Martinez as a performer, maybe for Mike Tyson, and Kevin Lee for Steven Seagal. So that was pretty much it. It's just, some cheap fight. It's just, so, yeah, that's... don't see China Salesman. Just watch something else. Watch Marked for Death. Watch an old Mike Tyson fight. Okay, I want to add some final thoughts. So I put some links for the following. I put a link for an interview for Keisha Tucker, a Black Panther. I've included a link for, let me see, Sam Hargrave's. It's an old stunt reel for Sam Hargrave. I've included a Finn Kelly. Now I included a Deven McNair video in which he talks about the lawsuit, and I definitely posted a link for China Salesman, that barroom brawl scene between Steven Seagal and Mike Tyson. So before I go, this message is for Mackenzie Foy. The movie didn't do well globally. Did about $58 million, and it did $20 million here in the U.S. And the movie cost about $125 million to make, I hear. Don't be discouraged. What should matter to you most is that you had fun making a great movie with all the stunt people and all the great actors and directors and coordinators. And you got to have fun. You got to meet people. You got to go to London, and you'll get to go to other countries someday if you do more projects. But don't let that discourage you from doing what you love to do. Don't let it discourage you from doing as much as you want to do, whatever you want to do. If you ever decide to continue acting or quit acting or stick to modeling or not, whatever you want to do, it's true to who you are. I don't see you as a big famed actress. I don't see you as Murph. I don't see you as Renesmee. I just see you as a person just going about your everyday life, and whether you're strong, whether you're weak, you'll be strong again. But you'll be strong through this one. Don't let the numbers discourage you. It wasn't the most fantastic movie, but it was not a bad movie. I really liked it. So just move forward, and please let us know what you're going to do in your future projects. I would love to know what your next project will be, even if it's not a movie or a TV show, something you love to do. Maybe make a weird YouTube video like this. All right, that's it for Stunt Double Takes. I'm Meister Drake signing out.